day 2 of our second marking period, Capstones. This represents the final senior individual project. It's a culmination of really 4 years of training. It's a graduation requirement, so please give our presenters today your full attention. Please refrain from talking or commenting, and please turn off your cell phones. Really can be disruptive to a presentation or a creative portion to have a ringtone or text go off. So please take out those cell phones and turn them off. Yeah, I guess so.
Me?
All right, so our first presenter today is Brendan Tamavongsa.
Hi, my name is Brendan Tamavongsa, and this is my capstone on homelessness and redemption, a musical intervention story. Go on the first slide. The first slide. There you go. Homelessness and redemption is about the state of homelessness in New Haven, where there are too many people out on the streets living in the cold, hungry and cold, begging for money, looking for a place to clean up, and even a loving, accepting community to accept them as they are. It is important to know that anyone can become homeless, whether they had a bad run-in with life, with drugs, substance abuse, mental illness, lack of funds, or natural disasters. But homelessness is a condition that can be resolved like any other problem with a positive, open mindset, empathy, and fortitude. Next slide. So I started at Musical Intervention. It's a recreational charity where homeless people or troubled adults in general can visit and play music to get their minds off their woes in life. I literally started off, I walked in one day and I said, "Can I sell records at your store?" Because I thought it was a record store, but it wasn't. Those were my humble beginnings, where I sold records and I got to interact with these people. And I started to see the real life struggle through characters such as Amen Ra, Puntri, and all the other homeless and troubled adults there. They told me so many stories about when they were homeless and how they went through all these troubles, such as finding a place to eat, how they're gonna get to the homeless shelter, how they're gonna get through the winter, and it's so heartbreaking to hear it every time. And I'm gonna tell that to you today, and I'm gonna break your hearts. However, all these people are finding housing and are recovering from their state of homelessness through perseverance and taking life head on through strength and humility. Next slide. The creative portion I wrote is essentially about the struggles of the homeless, as their struggles going through finding food, something to do in the day, because as soon as the morning comes and they're kicked straight out of the homeless shelter, basically, because it's only a nighttime thing where they sleep. They had to find warmth during the winter, a place to clean up, clean their clothes. There are a lot of general messages in the script that I wrote that we all can learn from, such as how to recover from a big complication in life, how do you empathize with others, to understand what people are going through by simply listening, having an open mind to take on new daunting opportunities, and fortitude to keep our positives in life, not just during this one short term, but long term. And my creative portion, my research began online through various online sources such as Yale Homelessness, Hunger, and Action Project, where the Yale students and professors alike feed the homeless and interact with them to guide them to a better light, in a sense. And I also looked up the Pacific Garden Mission in southern Chicago, Illinois, where they guide the homeless to faith and redemption through the words of God and Holy Spirit and the Holy Trinity. And yes, the primary sources of musical intervention through Tina, Gio, and Amin Ra, who are the characters that are going to be being played today in the script. Next slide. And homelessness and redemption is, in general, about, again, empathy, getting through a hard time in life, and finding ways to become a better person, and the struggles of homelessness in general. And Peter Bush now. So, go to the next slide. Oh, it's the actors who come down the stairs.
I am a poor, wayfaring stranger, one traveling through this world of woe. Yet there's no sickness, toil, or danger in that bright land to which I go. I'm going there to see my Father. I'm going there no more to roam. I'm only going home, Jordan. I'm only going over home.
This is a compilation of stories that acknowledges a graceful presence in the world, the gift of sound and melody, the resonance of pitch and harmony. The music is a metaphor for a state of mind to relieve us from our woes, a state of mind to become unfurled. These tales of homelessness and redemption entail disorder, disease, loss, and grief, but it all dances in time to relieve us from the streets. For we all need an escape from our constant debrief of all the small things in life. The love and support is out there if you expose yourself to it. There is no need to suffer all this isolated pain and strife. Some of us all may not be so quick to stand up straight, so we must empathize and have patience for those in a fragile state. We as human beings fail to see individuality and assume one personalities based on their community. We all focus on longevity and fail to live in moments for worry of their consequences. Our lives are a compilation of these moments that we all experience. So empathize for your fellow person as we all go through our down and outs, and we all have time for redemption to relieve our constant pining and lead us to the state of mind and sanctity.
I know dark clouds will gather around me. I know my way is rough and steep, but golden fields lie out before me, where gathering beams shall never sleep. I'm going there to see my mother. She said she'd leave me when I come. I'm only going over Jordan. I'm only going over home.
Do you hear that? That's the sweet sound of music. There's a good story behind this music. It's a similar but different story that will all have to lead us to another place. From our down and outs and to the present and the future. It describes the state of the nation and reflects ourselves in the picture. I'm no different than you all. I like to create art, paint on canvas, draw on paper, and just stare at the world in all its natural beauty. But our problems and faults send us into this spiral and conflict. Whatever happened to peace on earth or world? Peace. Like they used to say in the 70s, what happened to helping your fellow man and supporting each other's pursuits? As a human, I'm not perfect, and I admit that. But being homeless taught me to embrace certain traits. I rarely thought about when I wasn't homeless. I've been homeless for years, and I've seen a lot of troubling things that would drive a person crazy. But I've learned to tolerate others and situations, learned to be humble, to have humility, love, empathy, and faith. But there ain't much difference between you and I. But we're all unique beneath society's goose.
Guys.
Gosh, my bad. I was in it. I've suffered through terrible relationships with beautiful women, financial droughts, depression, PTSD, and the natural hardships of just being a person against the world. Some of the very same problems caused by others taught me how to forgive and move on. A proud, powerful, able to forgive yourself and others for what they've done, then you're on to one better thing. I'm not getting better with my situation. I'm searching for housing and food, but all of this could have happened much sooner if I just got out of my own head and redeemed myself. I heard the music and it let me see clearly, let me think and paint freely. I freed my mind onto canvases and I've shown the world and it rewarded me. It rewarded me with life, communal acknowledgement, but most of all, it rewarded me with peace of mind. The music saved me. It can save you too. All you gotta do is just listen.
From every trial, my body sleeps in the churchyard. I drop the cross of self-denial and enter on my great reward. I'm going there to see my Savior, to sing His praise forevermore. I'm only going over Jordan. I'm only going over home.
I've known storms before, but this is no storm. This is the beginning of the slow end of my days. The wind blows hard like the big bad wolf blows down poor pigs' empty homes. The thunder and rain roars and falls down hard like God's gunfire upon Brooklyn. He mimics the sin of crime in the city. Do we all deserve to suffer? What have I done to deserve this? What has my family done to deserve this? I remember her name that ruined me. Sandy. A pretty name for disaster. I have to carry on. I must go on for my children and for myself. My apartment was flooded. Everything was wet and cold. We had no choice. I had to send the kids to a relative while I had to receive treatment in Connecticut. Cancer is awfully difficult and expensive to treat, but I was so bound to the idea to save my life. I had to see doctors and have them run chemicals through my body. I had to lose my children and live on the streets. I wasn't ready to die. I still am not. But as my days draw to a close, I start to become to terms with the fact my days in New Haven began mostly at the hospital. Trying to get treatment but with money and their system, things weren't always guaranteed. I spent most of my days on the green. Days around the city looking for food, a place to clean up, usually at the emergency room, and in the winters, just for a place to keep warm. Every minute of those days seemed like years. Every conversation seemed to result in frivolous argument or reflection, which led me to think even more about my life and where I was. It was a cold time. I wasn't much for begging, but people seemed to be as cold as the winter nonetheless. I just wanted someone to understand my pain of living on these streets, being away from my children and my cancer treatments. I didn't want much, but just an ear. Then I heard the music. It sang to me so sweetly, so warm. It showed me love and compassion. It guided me to sanctuary and salvation. It was an escape to my ills and woes. It provided comfort from life's constant movement to and fro. And now I have something to look forward to almost every day. It brought me light. It brought me peace of mind in my final moments. Don't you hear the music? Listen for the music and it will save you. Listen to its wails and moans and realize we're all the same.
There is music in the world, and many times in once it was an escape from reality. It intervened and let me be free. I was brought up privileged in a sense that it could have been worse. I had a great childhood, loving family and all. I had a steady job, making good money. I used to be a workaholic. Nights and days didn't matter as long as I was working. I never got tired as long as I remembered, don't work hard, work smart. I had a love too. I had my family. I had a son. I was happy. My boy was the light of my days. His voice was sweet music that I could listen to for days on end. He was my baby boy. He was my son. I lost him. I'm not much to talk about it, but after his death, I was so torn. I couldn't go to work anymore. I remember just lying in bed watching the world go by as I laid there. I thought about my son, all the silly things he would do. His smile, his curly fro, he was mine. I thought about all the things he would have grown up to be. A musician, an artist, a doctor, a father. I cried for him, and I lost myself. I lost my job. I lost our home. It was all just too much to handle. I was in the streets. I had my low points and I got better and worse from time to time. But it all came clear eventually. It was my working spirit that got me back on my feet faster than most. I had a mentality when I saw what I wanted, and if I worked hard enough to get it, then I would. I made strong personal relationships within the community. Shelter directors, other homeless people and all. I would say I helped my fair bit of people, but they helped me just the same. I found the music because I started to focus on getting back on my feet. It never actually left me. But as I got better, it became louder, and I became happier. I became a better person everyone looked to because of it. Now I spend my days fixing up guitars and basses down the street from the green at Musical Intervention. And I'm happy that I'm keeping myself busy with such a wonderful safe haven. Now I play this music with my friends, hoping that others going through the down and outs of life could hear it just the same, so they can escape from reality and rediscover themselves in a beautiful way. The music is a universal sanctuary that saves one and all.
Yeah, that's it. Alright. What were the challenges? Life's a challenge. But writing script was challenging in the sense that I didn't really have inspiration, because writing words to get all the messages across and to fit it towards the people more than yourself is kind of hard. And I kind of sorted it. So. The capstone paper that I wrote for this, it's a long essay, and I just crammed it with statistics and facts that it didn't really sound sincere to what I felt about the topic. It could have been better, honestly. Writing and working through this made me realize that my flaws as a human being is something that I can work on. I'm often selfish. I'm often very cold and emotionless. But I can. We're getting there. We're getting there. And yesterday, oh my God, I worked from 5 to 10. I was so tired at the end of the night. It was raining. It was pouring. And these boots with this outfit is all right. That's a challenge. The better qualities, the messages and the stories were great, except Gio. Gio came to me a week before today, and he said, "I don't like how you wrote me in this." And I gave him the script 3 weeks before this, and I gave him so much time to read it and tell me how it is, and he's like, I just don't like it. I'm not an escapist. I don't feel this way, but you do you. And then I told him it's too late, and he's like, yeah, and he's like, it's okay, you do you. And I did me. The actors and actresses in this, I originally had Karis to play J. Mars' part, but Karis came in late, and J. Mars just happened to be here. So they all did great. Karis is great. And I thank them for being my capstone, even though they had hectic, busy lives. I understand that. The general mood, writing, performance, and music did so much better than I expected. I honestly, I didn't want to show up today. Next slide. My artistic statement. As an artist, I am a human being that is able to articulate the feelings and messages of those in need in today's callous society. I seek to teach others and myself of human flaw and to improve my character when socializing. This search for self-improvement led me to musical intervention. It gave me inspiration. It gave me stories to tell. It welcomed me with open arms and love from the beginning and to now. I am forever grateful for this experience and this community, and co-op, musical intervention, and New Haven in general. Next slide. Special thanks to everyone at Musical Intervention: Adam, Gio, Tina, Amen, Louie, Mina, Rachel, Eddie, Jeremiah, and especially my friend John CL, who gave me a ride home last night at 10:30 p.m. in the rain after I got out of work from a busy day of work. repetitive in this sentence. Thank you to Co-op for providing me with an excellent academic and artistic experience. And thank you to all my friends who helped me learn how to become a better, confident, and loving person. Welcome to Musical Intervention. Open mics every Thursday, 6 to 9 p.m. Come early to sign up. Tuesday to Saturday. Workshops, 3 to 4 p.m., including drums, voice, guitar, and songwriting. And that's all for my...